I really do want to get into this whole Big Show punching main event thing because we've talked about Big Show's odd character development, I want to say. I mean, he's gone from Crybaby Big Show to Angry Big Show to on Raw we saw I don't give a crap, Vince McMahon's probably going to come out next week, Big Show, and ironclad contract or something. But how does stalling the storyline make it better for TV? And I mean in the way that, yeah, we still have a vacant WWE championship. Big Show still sort of in the main event scene, but not really. I mean, it seems like they have way too many things that make it really obvious that they're sort of stalling for time. And then obviously we find out on Raw another thing that we're going to get to in John Cena. But is this sort of going to cool everything off? Because it did for me. Because going into Raw, when Brad Maddox announced the main event for Hell in a Cell, I know it wasn't just me, but even that crowd didn't react to a Hell in a Cell match. They were just like, great, we get to see these two guys again.
Yeah.
Me as a wrestling fan, I was like, honestly, give me another match. I'd rather have the triple threat, fatal four-way, something. But again, really, it's not that these two don't know how to work together, but give me something different outside of the match stipulation.
One interesting diagnosis to this entire problem is something a little bit on the side, is the fact that they have these theme pay-per-views could be why they're in the situation they are with this feud. Because maybe the best time to do a Hell in a Cell might have been Battleground time, or at least, around this time. But because they have to hold out for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, that means they have to delay it a month. They have to delay the feud. They have to find a way to keep it indecisive until then. So that, you can go off on a whole nother tangent about how theme pay-per-views can hurt storylines. But like I said, maybe the time to do it was this month, but they gotta push it forward. They have to find a way to stall for time. And I think a lot of people are already tired of this feud. They're not having the good matches that they were having on Raw a few months ago. Their matches are good, but I'm just not feeling them. I don't know if that's just me. But how have you guys felt about their actual matches?
I agree.
Okay, well, you already answered my question, but...
Yeah.
Honestly, there's not a lot much more to say about the matches. I mean, we've talked about the great matches they've had on Raw. But, I mean, you can only have so many matches without something changing until you stop caring.
Yeah. Now, my question about the whole Hell in a Cell thing, why does the big match have to be Hell in a Cell? Why does it have to be the WWE Championship match inside the Hell in a Cell? Why not just make the second main event be the Hell in a Cell? I'm kind of reluctant to say make CM Punk versus Ryback in the Hell in a Cell because, well, that was the main event last year, but, I don't know, maybe make the World Heavyweight Championship match a Hell in a Cell or something like that and just leave Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton to do their own thing.
I definitely see your point for in general for a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. For this year, I do think the best match to do a Hell in a Cell would be Bryan and Orton because they've had the longest consistent program besides Heyman and Punk, but Punk's been feuding with different Heyman guys, so I feel like it's still not enough for a Hell in a Cell match unless they did some multi-man thing, but I do feel like this, maybe last year I would have argued something different, because, Ryback and Punk was like a fresh feud and they were going right into a Hell in a Cell. But this year I think Bryan and Orton is the right choice.
Now, I do agree that it's the right choice, but going back to the other thing that you mentioned, which is theme pay-per-views killing it, is that if the next pay-per-view was called Backlash, I know Backlash wouldn't be around this time, but it gives you that suspense of you don't know what match type you're going to get, but you're like, oh, well, next month we get Hell in a Cell. Hey, championship belt is still vacant. I wonder if they're going to be in a Hell in a Cell match. Oh, wait, they are? Guess what? It's not surprising to me. It's the frickin' pay-per-view name. I don't expect a TLC match in the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. There's a TLC pay-per-view. They had a fatal four-way.
Extreme Rules.
Yeah, they keep having all these pay-per-views, and that takes the suspense out of it. I can sort of see one business side, which is that by having this pay-per-view name, you're guaranteed X match a year, like Money in the Bank and all that, but it prevents feuds like this, feuds that actually deserve that match, from developing it. Because it's one thing coming out and it's like, hey, next month, Hell in a Cell match. As opposed to, like, okay, these two have beaten the crap out of each other, the belt's still undecided, it's on nobody, there's only one way we can do it, and it's inside this Hell in a Cell. I mean, it's the entire reason the matches like the Hell in a Cell, the Elimination Chamber, the Kennel from Hell, all of these amazing matches since the last one. No, but it's the reason that these matches were invented for furthering storylines, buried alive matches, every single special match type. So when you put a pay-per-view name on it, it just kills the entire concept for me.
All right, now I'd like to play devil's advocate here for a minute, and let's say that the WWE left Battleground as Breaking Point. The match that would have happened at Battleground/Breaking Point would have been a submission match between Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. Do you think that would have helped the storyline further because of that gimmick? Because I mean, Daniel Bryan was the submission expert. There's no way he could lose that match, but he still does.
Well, to me, honestly, it would have definitely made something. The same way I Quit matches are popular, because it's not about just pinning the guy or knocking him unconscious. It's about making the guy submit. Plus, hey, they've already had a match where Randy tapped out to Daniel Bryan in that awesome Raw match. So you would actually have something to build off of if that were the case.